disease. Way, Winnie, way, Winnie, way, Winnie, be my disease. Way, ah, way, ah, way, ah, way, ah. Way, ah, way, ah, way, ah, way, ah. Way, ah, way, ah, way, ah, way, ah. Way, ah, way, ah, way, ah, way, ah, way, ah, way, ah, hey, oh. Way, Winnie.
And good evening, good evening. You are tuning in here at WOJB to Anishinabe Sober Voices, and glad you could join us. Mark Lundeen here, and going to be talking with Chalice Wade here in a moment. I wasn't able to call out, so I'm hoping she'll call in to the station so we can chat. Chalice, if you're listening, give me a call here at WOJB. And Mark Lundeen here. I think that's her. Yay! Very good, very good. We'll pick up that line. And we'll be talking to Chalice in a little bit. And anyways, so this is Anishinabe Sober Voices. This is a forum that talks about Anishinaabe addictions and what's happening with people. So it's a forum of people that communicate and tell their stories about drug and alcohol abuse. And we'll be discussing drug and alcohol issues impacting Native people and providing resources to improve the quality of life for the LCO community. And just so you know, if you ever want to share your story here at WOJB with the Anishinaabe Sober Voices, get a hold of Mary Ellen Baker. She's kind of the main person here, and her number is, now she's not home right now, but just so you have her phone number, 715 634 5806. Give Mary Ellen a call. Let her know that you would be willing to talk about your story of sobriety and where you came from and how you got there. It's just important to talk about these things because it's really part of your recovery is to be able to tell your story to other people, and maybe it will help somebody. So we'll see. Chalice, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, good, good. Thanks for calling in. I'm sitting here trying to dial out through our soundboard, and it's a technical thing. It just got to be kind of weird. So thanks for calling in. I appreciate it. So,
Yeah.
so let's talk about well, first of all, who you are, what you're doing currently, and are you living here on the LCO reservation?
Well, my name is Chalice Wade. I'm 25 years old. Um, and yeah, I'm living on the res right now. I've been here like my whole life, but I actually just got out of jail. I did like 13 months in county here, and I just got out like almost 2 months ago, and I'm just trying to, I don't know, get used to being back in the community and out
Yeah.
of jail. Yeah, and
Wow.
yeah, I've been sober for a year and a half now, and this is actually the longest time I've been sober, like my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels pretty good, but some days it's really hard. Like
Yeah.
today, actually, yeah, it was kind of like the spur of the moment to come on the radio. I was having like a really bad day, and I talked to Jared or whatever, and he told
Mm-hmm.
me to get a hold of you, so here I am.
Yeah, awesome. Well, So tell us a little bit about your growing up years. You said you grew up here on the res. What was that like for you as a child, as a teenager? Give us some backstory about your life.
Um, okay, so I don't know. I had like a lot of trauma in my life. My dad passed away when I was really young, and my mom struggled with, problems of her own, and um, yeah. So like I was like abused, and I got in the system, ICW. I got involved with them when I was really young, and
Mm,
just bouncing all over the place. I never really had like a stable home or nothing.
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it was pretty rough. It was really rough, actually. And sometimes it's really hard for me to talk about, just because I haven't actually, worked through all that trauma yet. But yeah, I'm trying to make a change because I don't want my kids to grow up the way I had to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um. So I actually started using drugs at like a really young age. Um. I started off with like weed, and then it went to like pills. And then, just a few years ago, I started messing around with the hard stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
How
but
young were you when you started using?
I was actually like really young, like 9 or 10, and
Oh
by the
wow.
time by the time I was 11, I was already doing pills and stuff, and I ran away from home, and I was staying with my auntie or whatever. She's taking care of me. She took me in, and I was a real hellraiser though. Like I would run
Mm,
away from home, and like I was already like a felon by the time I was 12 years old. I had to stay in treatment for a year down in Eau Claire when I was 12 too. And yeah,
wow. So were
yeah,
you in
it was,
school at all during any of this, or you were skipping school too?
I was pretty truant a lot. Yeah, that was kind of like the one thing that ICW was having like a problem with me, just because I didn't want to go to school, and then I didn't want to go home after school because I don't know, it was just really rough, and uh,
Yeah.
yeah, so
Hmm.
yeah, but so like I went to Eau Claire Academy when I was 12, and I stayed there for a year, and I came back home, and everything was just the same. I didn't have a stable house. I was just going through a lot and couldn't get along, with like my friends or my family or nothing. So I was always just, running around getting high. And then when I was 14, I got pregnant with my daughter Layla, and I had her at 14. And like when I had her, like my whole like mindset changed. Like I just wanted to, take care of my daughters a better, maybe more better than I was taken care of.
Sure.
But like I was also still like struggling with like a bunch of stuff. I was drug addict and pretty much homeless, and me and my mom, we didn't have the best relationship at all. And I don't know, everything was like really hard for me. And
Wow.
yeah, but I don't know, I still found like a reason just to keep trying. And like I said, like when I had Layla, she was like my lifesaver. I probably wouldn't even be here today if I didn't have her. And then I was actually pregnant with my third child before I was even 21.
Mm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I was able to, like, I was able to give my family a good life. Like, at one point, I had my own house, like, a car and everything. I was sober, and my kids are happy and everything. And I just, um, my grandpa passed away when I was like, it was like 7 years ago, 8 years ago, and I took that really hard, and I just kind of went off the deep end again
Mm.
around that time, and yeah,
How old were you then?
it was like 7 years ago, so it's like 22
Okay.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah, and he was my father in my life, because my dad passed away, and I took that really hard, and yeah, I don't know, and like my relationship with my baby dad was not great at all either. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we were constantly fighting, and, like I don't know, it was really bad.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, I fell off for like a while actually, and then I ended up losing. I lost my house, lost my kids. Like me and my baby dad broke up, so I I got really depressed, and it was just hard for me to like keep motivation to, like still try to be sober and stuff, just because I felt like everything that I did wasn't good enough for nobody.
Yeah.
So like it's I don't know, it's really hard to get out of the streets. Like I just couldn't find a way. I even went to treatment, a few times, but I don't think I was ever really ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And like just recently, like I said, I just got out of jail. I did 13 months, and I uh, I had a chance to go to treatment. I was in treatment for 2 months, but I ended up getting kicked out because I couldn't follow the rules. But I just think that like I needed to stay in jail just so I could sit there and think and like be by myself, and just try to I don't know, just to understand myself more,
Yeah.
and, and like ever since I got out, like I've been trying like my best, like just to stay sober, and to this day I still am sober. I don't know how I'm doing it because sometimes I just get so stressful, but I just like if I feel like the urge to get high or if I feel like giving up, I'll just sit in my room and I'll wait. Like wait another 5 minutes, wait another 10 minutes. And then, by the time I know it, like that feeling goes away, the urge goes away, and I'm fine again.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and
So
like
what was the moment that you decided that this is I'm done. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. What was that moment like for you?
I am, I've been feeling like that, uh, probably since my grandpa passed away. I've been feeling sick and tired, but I just didn't know how to. I just didn't know how to get out. Like
Yeah.
I didn't know where to run to. I didn't know who to ask for help, or like I just didn't know. And I mean, like I went to detoxing a few times, and I don't know. It's just I don't know. I think my point of being enough is enough is when I was sitting in jail, and I
Mm-hmm.
sat there and staring at the walls and just thinking about my whole life and like everything that happened, and all my choices that I choose to make. Because
Yeah.
like I even though I grew up rough, my grandpa and my family, they raised me right with morals, and they taught me how to respect people and take care of people, and just to be a good person too. So it's like I can't blame, my past and my childhood for my mistakes. I gotta take accountability for the shit like I done. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know if I
Yeah.
swear on here, but
Yeah, I don't have
but
a bleep button, so you'll have to help me out with that.
yeah. But yeah, so like, and I was sitting in jail thinking about everything, and I came to a conclusion that when I get out, it's everything. It has one or two ways it could go. Like either I'm gonna make it or I'm not gonna. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and all of that is just gonna depend on like what I choose to do. Like it's
Yeah.
gonna be my own. It's gonna be my responsibility to you know succeed if I'm gonna or not.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'm not saying it's that simple because it's freaking not. Like
No.
sometimes I go crazy sometimes, um, but I just think about that, like what happens with me and my life and my kids. It's all in my hands. I have the power to change everything myself. As you know, like I just gotta figure it out somehow.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
what was the biggest change you had to make when you got out of jail? And I don't know, where'd you find a place to live? Did you have a place? What about your circle of friends? Did that have, I know a lot of people, they have to just get, get away from their previous circle of friends because they're enabling you to continue
Mhm.
using.
Yeah, it's sad. Um, actually, I all my friends, obviously, like we all used together and stuff. But ever since I've been out, I haven't been talking to nobody, and I haven't really been hanging out with anybody. I mean, like people ask me, if they want to chill or whatever, but I just feel like I'm not ready to like talk to anybody. And it's not because I think that I'm better than anybody or
Right.
that like that they're bad people. It's nothing like that. Like I every night I hope and pray that all my loved ones and everybody around here is safe and healthy, and hopefully someday, like the ones that are still sick and suffering, that they could come to a point where, they could find their own path of recovery. But right now it's just I gotta worry about myself and make sure that I don't fall back into those habits. But it doesn't matter how much, like I gotta learn how to put myself first now.
Yeah.
And like when a couple months before I was out of jail, I wasn't really sure what's gonna happen or what was gonna happen. Um, I could have went to go live with my mom, but me and her have kind of, like I said, we have a really bad relationship, and it's like a big trigger for me when we like fight and stuff.
Sure. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So I just felt like it was better for me to find someplace else to go. And that's not because like I don't love my mom or
Right.
it's
No.
not
Yeah.
it's not like that. Yeah. So I was actually seeing somebody from the first day out program when I was locked up, and I was gonna go stay at the women's shelter on Haskins.
Mm-hmm.
But then I called my grandma and I found out that there was a room over here, so she let me stay with her, and I just help her out around the house and stuff. Like she, has a hard time like lifting heavy stuff, and cleaning and everything. So I had to help her out as much as I can.
Yeah. Keeping yourself
Yeah,
busy.
yeah, yeah. It gets pretty lonely sometimes. Like I said today, this is a spur of the moment type thing. I was just going through some stuff. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, this is how I ended up here. But
Right, right. No, I've always encouraged people who are even struggling in their sobriety is to talk about their story and get out there and
Mhm.
let people know, who you are, where you've been, what you're doing, and that's a great strengthening element for you.
Yeah.
And then what other things are you doing? I know you have a connection to Charles Kaibi. What's happening with things that you do maybe with Charles in the sober group?
Well, let's see. So I went to jail on May of 2021,
Hmm.
or yeah, 21, or yeah, and I didn't really talk to him or really know him that much like before then. I sat in jail for a few months, and then I got to go to treatment in Fond du Lac. Uh, but I went AWOL for a week from treatment,
Hmm.
and I was around LCO for like a week and a half or whatever, and I didn't want to go back to jail or whatever because I was still planning to go back to treatment. So I was still staying sober, and like not really talking to anybody still.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't remember how me and Judo ran into each other. That was back when he was still working for the free store,
Yeah.
and so yeah, we was just kind of hanging out, and he was showing me the free store, and brought me to a couple meetings and stuff, and what else? Oh yeah, showing me like the silver driving project,
Hmm.
and yeah, so I rode around with him. He's just uh, just seeing like how he is and stuff like that. So that made me feel like I got really hopeful after um like seeing people from like the free store and like all the meetings and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really know like if there was anything like that going on before I went to jail. Like I just didn't think there was nothing around.
Right.
But yeah, but like I actually seen a few people that I knew, like at groups and stuff. So I was like, oh hey, this is pretty cool. So when I got out, I ended up running to Jizo Den up at the recovery clinic. So yeah,
Okay. Hmm.
so, yeah. So
Yeah, it's nice to know that there's other people out there that are sober that you probably even, even some friends that you've or acquaintances maybe you knew from your past, and you meet them and you
mhm,
say, "Oh, I didn't know you were here. I didn't know you were, trying your best to
mhm,
live a sober life, to live the good life." And that's very
yeah,
encouraging, isn't it?
yeah, it is really encouraging. When I was in jail, we had NA.
Yeah.
They tried to come every week on Tuesday to come talk to us, and there was actually a person there that I actually sat in jail with a few years ago, and like just hearing her talk and just like talking about her recovery and all the things that she went through and stuff, and how long her sobriety is, like that gave me hope too, because I just some days I just never I don't feel like I'm ever gonna make it that far, but then like I'll sit and I think about it, and like I deserve to give myself better. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah. It does. Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, it is really encouraging though, and I like seeing people get sober and seeing them all healthy and get in their own place and working, being able to take care of their kids and stuff. Like it's just I love it. It gives
Yeah.
me hope. Yeah.
So you
So I
mentioned
just
earlier about your kids being your life, and that first child that that child is now what, 10 years old? You said your oldest.
yeah, she's 10.
Yeah, and where are the children now, and are you able to see them and interact with them?
Well, now my three oldest are with their grandma, and then my baby he got adopted, and my uh second to the youngest, she's with my cousin, and I haven't got to see them in a really long time, and I just it's hard for me to contact with them. Like last time I talked to my cousin, it just wasn't good, and like
Yeah,
I just don't want to like keep having that negative connection with them,
sure.
and I don't know how else to get to them. So
Yeah,
I'm actually working on going to court for my kids for visitation at least right now. But I mean, I talked to my oldest though. We texted when I was in jail and stuff. I actually got to talk to her on Mother's Day in jail, so like that made me,
oh, very
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you got some things to work towards, but that's a good thing as well. And again, people, being
Mhm.
sober or not using is it's a lot of work.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
it's a lot of mental work and emotional work and
Mhm.
physical work to go to meetings, be a part with sober activities and groups, and keeping your mind clean. It's just how how's that work been for you?
Well, it's actually, like you said, it is really hard. It's sometimes I don't even want to get out of bed, but
Yeah,
I, I have to though. So like, even if I'm tired or stressed out or anything, like I still try to make it to my appointment. I run on Indian time really bad, so 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna be late, but
yeah.
I'll be there.
Well, that's something you can work on.
Yeah. I
Planning.
made it on time yesterday to my appointment, so
Yeah.
we're getting there.
Oh dear.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm I'm just glad I'm not where I was, a couple years ago because it
Yeah.
was it was really bad, I was really depressed, and I just, I don't, I didn't even, I never even thought I was, ever gonna make it to this point. And now that I'm here, I just I don't
Yeah.
want to lose, you know.
So, what advice might you have for another young lady or young man out there who's struggling? They're listening to our radio program right now, and they just don't know what to do and how to go about making that decision to be sober. What advice would you give somebody?
Um. Okay, so I think my biggest problem was um I didn't I didn't like to reach out, and like ask for help, or
Yeah,
like I just felt like, asking somebody for help made me feel weak,
right.
or like I wasn't it I don't know. I just
That's
never
no,
was
it's a
able
very
to ask
common
for help.
feeling. Yeah,
But like today, for a good example, you know I ignored all that stuff about me feeling weak, asking for help, or needing somebody, to talk to and stuff. So I actually messaged a few people. And, like I feel a lot better now. Like before, I was really stressed out. I was crying and everything, but
mm-hmm.
I talked to Jared, and I reached out to a couple of other of my friends, and I feel a lot better now. And it's not like you shouldn't be ashamed of yourself for asking for help or for needing help or anything. Because sometimes we all do. Sometimes we all need somebody to lean on, somebody to talk to, or like you don't need. Sometimes you don't even want advice. You just want to know that somebody's there and they hear you. You
Yeah,
know?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's the advice I would give. Like, don't be scared to ask for help, because there's people out there that really do care about you and that are really willing to help you if you want to help yourself. You know?
Yeah, yep,
And like everybody, like we're all so much better than that. Like we could all, we deserve a lot better than that. We deserve to be happy. To have our life back, and like I don't know. Yeah, I just yeah, that's the best advice I got.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Mhm.
the we were created to take care of Mother Earth. We were created to take care of each other. The
Yep.
Creator has given us some tasks to do, and one of the things I've always told people, I need to take care of myself so I can take care of you.
Yep.
Is and it's as some people think, well, I've got to take care of myself. That sounds kind of selfish. Well, it is because if I'm not healthy, how can I take care of anybody else or help anybody else with what I'm doing?
Yep. That is so true. That is so true.
Hmm.
And yeah.
So, how long have you been sober now? I know, and I'm assuming jail obviously gave you some months of sobriety, and you've come out of jail now. And so, how long have you been sober since then?
I almost been sober a year and a half. A couple more months, it'll be a year and a half. My
Wow.
so Yeah, my sober date is May 1st, 2021.
Yeah, remember that. That's always good to remember. Mine
Yeah.
was mine was a long time ago, April 2nd, 1981.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you.
Wow.
So, and it's great to celebrate those things. Make sure that you get a birthday cake or some cupcakes and bring it to your sober meeting. LCO Sober Visions, they have meetings every week, and I'm hoping you can attend those as much as you can. You got good
Yeah.
transportation to those, or does Gizo pick you up?
Well, Jesus actually been a lot of help on getting me to my appointments up at the CCS building.
Yeah, yeah,
He's pretty much been a lifesaver for like all my appointments. So
yeah.
I really appreciate him for that. Other than that, usually I'm just taking the shuttle bus, and I'm not. I don't mind taking it either. It's only $1.
Mm-hmm.
It takes me where I gotta go. I mean, it kind of sucks that like it takes like an hour to get anywhere, but I don't
Right.
mind it.
Well, out here in the middle of north central Wisconsin, it takes an hour to get anywhere.
Yeah,
We kind of get used to that. It's a long drive no matter what you do. Um,
yeah.
so what are you thinking maybe about future plans? Going to school, going, do you have a high school diploma? Are you thinking about getting a GED?
Well,
What's
actually, I just actually graduated when I was in jail with my HSED.
awesome?
Yeah,
Congratulations. Yay, that's awesome.
thank you.
Eh,
Yeah, so I don't know, like okay, so back in 2020 when I had that year sobriety stint,
yep,
I went to school up at the LCO college, well it's LCO University now,
yeah, right, yep,
but I went to the transportation program, Transportation Alliance for New Solutions or something like that. And it's a course that teaches you entry level road construction. So it's like flagging, blueprint reading, labor leveling. They help you with like math and stuff and how to find like the perimeters of certain things. And
sure,
what else did we do? We did a lot more stuff. I think like CDL prep and they actually had us working out like 3 times a week too, because you need to be really healthy to work.
right,
Standing on the road
yeah,
all day middle of summer.
mm-hmm,
So yeah, graduated. Um, I graduated with that, but I had to wait till I got my HSCD to get all my certificates and stuff.
right,
But now I got all of them. But sadly, it's like the end of the season,
right,
so I'm
yeah.
gonna, yeah,
Not much
Uh,
road construction happening in the winter.
yeah. So that's probably gonna be a hold on that. Um, but I'm actually thinking about starting my own business. I just don't know. I want to start my own business. I just don't know how to go about doing all that stuff.
Hmm. What
Yeah.
business would you like to start?
Well, I want to start it off as like a cleaning business where like I could go to people's homes and clean their homes and stuff, and
Sure,
I could do like garages, homes, lawns, and I could like sanitize, organize, and like declutter.
right,
And I'll bring all like my own equipment and stuff, and I'll clean your whole house or whatever you
mm-hmm,
need. And then like I want to be able to clean elders' homes, because I know there's a lot of elders that need help with that kind of stuff around here.
yep,
And, so yeah, office too. I could clean like offices and stuff.
sure,
And then so yeah, like that's what I want to do first. That's what I want to start off with first. And
yeah,
then I want to branch off to like other things, like being able to like decorate for parties and stuff like that,
mm-hmm,
for like different occasions. And yeah. And then I have a whole bunch of other ideas, but I just want to start with that stuff right now.
right. Well, I
Yeah.
know a lot of people who do that because obviously we have lots of cabins and uh, out here that in resorts that need that sort of stuff. And usually, I like the idea of working with the elders if you have the ability and resources to volunteer for a while and get a good reputation with some elders that then can refer you to
Yeah.
maybe some people who would pay you for that type of service. That's really a good way
Mhm.
to kind of get going because that type of business is really a referral. Everything that all the business that you would get would be from someone else referring your services to another person and say, "Hey, Chalice does
Oh.
really great work for me. You should, look at hiring her." So that's one way you could start is just simply by doing a couple houses and
Mhm.
let other people talk for you. So you don't even have to
Yeah.
pay for advertising. People will do it for yourself. You know.
Yeah. I don't even know like what I would name my business either.
Well, don't worry about that. Just call it Chalice Cleaning Service or whatever. It doesn't have to be anything formal.
Yeah.
Once you get to a point where you got 4 or 5 houses that you're cleaning, and
Mhm.
you need some help, and now you're going to hire extra people to help you out. It's like, wow, that'd be great,
Yeah. Yeah. I actually, 'cause like when I'm stressed out, I like to clean and stuff. So,
Yeah,
yeah. But I was actually cleaning one of my friend's house one time. Um, they had a friend over, and they asked, or well, he asked me if if he paid me, if I would clean his house, and I was like, well, yeah, of course I would have. He was like, well, how much would you charge? And I was like, well, I don't know. It depends on, like how big your house is, where you're at, and like how dirty it is. And I
yeah,
was like, what would you pay me? And he was like, I don't know, probably like 50 an hour. And I was like, what? So yeah,
yeah,
but I mean, like, and like if that all goes good, and like sometime in the future, I want to be able to have my own program where I could help, addicts and people just getting out of jail and prison too.
sure.
Yeah, like, yeah, I have like a whole idea. I just don't know how to put it in action or
Well,
even get on it.
just start. That's what I tell people. Just start it. Just
Yeah,
start somewhere. You gotta
right.
if you're waiting for the perfect moment to start, it won't come. The perfect moment to
Yeah.
start is when you have the energy and the idea to do it. Find somebody
Mhm.
that will, say, "Hey, come over to my place and clean this." I need, again, especially like you said, the elders.
Yep.
It's really great to be part of their lives and help
Mhm.
them out and respect them and whatnot. So that's a good place
Yeah.
to start. And geez, you're on the radio here with me, and there's an audience. There's a very big audience that has the potential of listening to this or even watching it on Facebook. It's something that's out there, and people will know how to get a hold of you. I don't know. We could even
Yeah.
give out your phone number for people to say, hey, if you need someone to support a sober person in their activity, give Chalice Way to call and or connect with you on Facebook. And some
Yeah.
people will just say, hey, I want to give her an opportunity. And that's how it
Okay.
starts. Just don't be afraid to promote yourself and get out there and make some phone calls.
Okay. Yeah, well, thank you for that advice there. I never even like thought of it like that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
again, most of the time when I've talked to other people who say, I want to start a business, how do I do it?
Mhm.
Well, you give a few house cleanings for free or do a video production for somebody for free. And
Right.
that way you build your resume and you get that, you get the people that you're working for, give them the opportunity to refer you to other people. And
Okay.
I have a couple of friends who that's how they done it. They actually came over and cleaned for I have an elderly father-in-law that lives in my house, and they came over and cleaned up the basement for him and stuff. And he referred them to somebody else, and then all of a sudden, 2 more people referred her, and now she has more places to clean that she can handle in a week. You know,
Oh,
and she
oh,
has
yeah.
6 children at home, and it's like, oh my goodness, what a way to, yeah. So it's just, you got time, you got
Mhm.
enthusiasm, you have a great idea. It's just, take that step to get out there. Now, obviously,
Yeah.
it's a little harder to carry all your cleaning supplies on the shuttle bus,
Yeah.
but you can start out with someone, like I said, an elder at their home, and they may already have the cleaning supplies there for you to do it, and you just need to come in and do the time,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's very good. So
Yeah.
don't be afraid to step out and just do something, just like you did with sobriety. Just do it,
Right.
and keep up with
Uh-huh.
those friends, keep up with those relationships. Go to the LCO sober vision groups and stuff. I have some old, I don't know if this is, Jesus should be calling me and talk about this, but the Wellbriety meetings, I think they're still happening on Wednesdays at 6. And
Oh,
I think there's still stuff that happens at the free store. But anybody, you can always connect, right? Isn't there somebody at the free store you can always talk to and get connected with?
Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure
No.
really. That's kind of like another thing I'm having trouble with since I got out is um, I haven't really been like talking to people or nothing. Like people call my phone and I don't answer. I don't really know
You don't
why.
know who they are, right?
Yeah, and then like like I said, I had people that would like invite me out and stuff, and I just I just don't go. But I'm hoping I could change that. Like just get out of my shell a little bit. But I'm just
Yeah.
worried. I'm just worried that if I go out, like I'm just worried.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well, again, I encourage you to stay active, go out. When Jesus says, "Hey, we got a sober activity trip to go, come along, go ahead and do it," and
yeah,
be involved.
yeah.
You
He's
don't,
actually a really good support person because like the last time too, the last rail bite feast they had, he brought me to it too.
yeah, yep,
Yeah.
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 Those are good friends to have.
And
Oh,
then like I want to make something so like I could pass on to my kids.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then, maybe as you're doing work, I'd go back to the university and see what else you could do during the obviously the fall semester's already started, but maybe look at spring
Mhm.
semester, and they're very, very helpful in finding funding for
Yeah.
classes for you, and maybe do some of the. I've always encouraged freshmen and sophomores in college and universities to just get the requireds done and get those credits up, and then by your junior year you can really focus on what you want to do, or what type of degree you want to get into. But I really think that would be a good thing for you as well, is to um, work on that. That'll keep you busy for sure, college classes.
Yeah. I do actually want to go back to school too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's another thing I was going to talk about. I have like 250 something hours I got to do for community service, and I'm having like a really hard time finding a place to do it at. So like if I can, I'll go clean an elder's house for hours for community service.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There you go. That'll work, because then that
Mhm.
elder can just sign off on the hours you did for them, and that'll take care of that. You know,
Mhm.
it won't be all at once, but at least you're working on it
Right.
a couple hours a house, and
Yeah.
in a couple of months you could have a lot of stuff done. So
Mhm. Yep.
very
Well, I'm
cool.
really glad I talked to you about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe there's if you have any friends or relatives that work at any of our tribal entities, maybe you could help with the custodial staff
Yep.
on cleaning their buildings and stuff. So
Mhm.
that's
Yeah, I was thinking about that too because I used to work up at the LCO casino and a couple other places for cleaning.
mhm,
Yeah. Yeah. And I know it's usually not the job for a lot of people, but I really don't mind it.
right. Yep, yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Very cool. Well, what else do you want to talk about, or tell us more about your story? We got a few minutes left here, and I'll let you have the final say.
Okay. Well, you kind of put me on the spot
I
now. What
know.
else?
But you've been talking so well. I just, earlier when we talked, you said, "Well, what am I going to say for all that time?" And we've already done 45 minutes, and you probably didn't even realize it.
Yeah, I didn't actually. I went by really fast. But
So,
like I said, I'm really happy I got the chance to, be on radio and stuff and talk. I was actually really nervous of doing it, and I was gonna say no, but I'm
yeah,
really glad I did it.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you did too. This has been awesome. And
Yeah.
usually I
It,
have somebody here in the studio, but I'm all by myself, and you're on your phone, and it's
Yeah.
good that this worked out. And we've even had some comments on Facebook. I don't know. You can watch this later on.
Oh, really?
It's just a camera on me and the microphone and some graphics. But Jesus said, thank you for being strong and doing this tonight, especially on such short notice. Just remember that your story can help others too. And with that
Yeah.
said, I give you a big hoa and see the positivity spread through our community and the rest of Indian country. And then
Yeah.
Carmen Blair also gave a proud of you comment as well, if you know who she is.
Mhm. Well, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. It means sometimes, it means the world to hear that, especially when you're having those rough days and you just don't know what to do. It helps a lot just knowing that, people care and, they're rooting for you.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
I'm really happy.
That's those other sober people that you're going to meet at the sober activities. And
Hmm.
just really, I want to encourage anyone, like you said, anyone who's listening who's struggling with addiction still and maybe fell off the wagon just the other day or something. I know a couple people that I follow on Facebook that, the struggle's real every day. There's issues, and we're going to always deal with issues and problems. It's just how do we
Yep.
respond to that? And we have to have a plan on how we're going to
Yeah.
respond to that. Otherwise, if you don't have a plan, the only thing that's there is the bottle or the drugs or, something else that's going to fill that hole.
Yep.
And to stay busy and be active, not just not just physically, but mentally be active. And again, like you did, you went back to school and you got
Hmm.
a certificate to do some road construction work, and that's great. Now take the next
Yep.
step and keep challenging yourself,
Yeah.
because that's always going to be something that's going to help you down the road.
Yep. And like I never knew like how good it felt to actually reach one of, my goals or, like accomplish something just because I never was able to, like I was ran away from my problems or hid for them or acted like they aren't there. But
Right.
now now I'm handling, my business and now I'm doing what I gotta do and like I feel a lot better and it feels really good to, say that I accomplished something or like I got something done or that I was able to say no or like it feels good to do this
It
stuff.
does, doesn't it? Yeah, I can see a
Yeah.
smile on your face right now.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Chalice, thanks
Yeah.
for talking with me, and I hope all the best for you. Keep plugging away.
Mhm.
Keep doing what you're doing. It's
Mhm.
and again, always reach out to somebody. And if you're having a hard day, don't do it alone. There's a lot of people
Yeah.
out here that would be glad to do that hard day with you. So
Okay. Thank you
thanks for
for having
calling.
me.
You bet.
This is a good experience.
Take care.
Yep. Have a good night.
You too. Bye bye. Yeah, we were just talking with Chalice Wade here on WOJB's Anishinaabe Sober Voices. And if you feel like you need some help to get on with life, I encourage you to call Mary Ellen Baker at 715 634 5806. Her number again is 715 634 5806. Or call Stephen Perry. He can help you out as well. So his number is 231 357 6191. 231 357 6191. And if you want to, you can also give. I don't have Jeezy's numbers here. Oh my goodness, what am I thinking? If you go on Facebook, look up, search for Sober Visions or LCO Sober Visions, or the Sober Ride that he operates. You can get a hold of him through that. And be sure to, I can't see all the numbers here. Sorry about that. All right. It is 7:51 here at WOJB. 37 degrees outside, and we're expecting a little chilliness to continue on. But coming up next is Drum Song with Thomas Kane, and I'll leave you with this song from Mary Ellen Baker here on WOJB.